Hey everyone, got a quick update for you guys. You already see the title, so I'm gonna pretty quickly jump into the subject matter. I don't have a script with me, so this is gonna get a little bit babbly, potentially. I might just kind of blabber on and hope that it connects to each other in some way. And I'm probably not going to be doing a ton of jump cuts. You're probably going to hear me saying a lot, but I felt like I just needed to make this video. You're looking at the title. It's not clickbait. 10 years later is going to be stopping. I am ending the series. My watch went off. My Apple Watch went off as I was filming, and I'm probably going to leave that in the video. Glad to know I reached my calorie count for the day. Anyway, yes, I'm ending the series. I know it's only year 3 out of 10, but I sat with this for a while and kind of just decided I should do this. And if you guys follow me on my socials, if you follow me on Twitter, which I have linked in my channel bio, or I have other socials that I don't really give out as freely, but I have friends that watch my videos, so they probably see this from other platforms. You might know that I have been kind of saying this, and I've been kind of letting it be known that I'm pulling the plug on the series, and now I'm kind of confident in saying that's definitely what's going to happen. And the reason why I'm doing that is just because this series became too much of an albatross for me, and it feels like it's just this thing that's hanging over my head, and it's not serving me anymore. When I pitched the series and I first started thinking about it back in 2019, late 2019, I did it because I largely thought just doing album reviews wasn't going to be enough. I wanted to try to diversify my content. First year was about getting comfortable with making content. Now it's time to really kind of try more stuff, and as it turned out, I gloriously overscoped. Obviously, I did not expect that a 10-year project was going to be so draining. I just thought passion was going to be able to push me through, and obviously it doesn't always work like that, but it ended up becoming just this giant thing that was hanging over the channel and really impacting the way I worked with content. Obviously, I changed my style of reviewing new albums to the TikTok format, largely because 10 years later was taking up so much time, but that's something I don't regret doing because I kind of enjoy doing the shorter form reviews as it is, as opposed to long form essay-like videos. But it also stopped me from doing other kinds of videos that I would want to do. I couldn't start other new series if I want to, or jump into other new ideas, because the thought process was just get through 10 years later, push through 10 years later. You want this series to be a museum of the 2010s in music, keep doing it. And it just stopped serving me. And I don't want to say that I ever got to a point where I stopped enjoying music, because I still do. I love music. But I got to a point where I kind of stopped enjoying listening to albums for 10 years later. Because let me put it to you guys like this. When it comes to the new album reviews now that I do for TikTok, I can listen to them without feeling pressured to write a huge script. I might have to write a little bit, because for the TikTok reviews, I'm not just going straight off the dome. I'm still writing things down that I know I want to say. So I'm writing something of a script, but it's a script for a 1-minute video, so it's a lot less overwhelming. And not only that, but the way that I can listen to an album when doing a new album review is much easier that way. I, one, get to listen to the albums multiple times if I feel like I need to, but I also get to listen to them in different kind of scenarios, and I get to listen to them in ways that I can just take in and enjoy the music. I can listen to an album while playing a video game. I can listen to it while I'm just chilling and vibing on the couch. I can listen to it however I want to. I have that freedom to, because I don't have to write a long video essay describing my thoughts. I don't have to be stuck on that for so long. With 10 years later, it was one of those things that because these are video essays, I would have to have the album running on Spotify, have all the lyric pages open, look through every single lyric, make sure things check out and sound okay, type as I'm listening, so I can't even really listen to the songs and enjoy them because I'm busy typing out my thoughts on them, and it just stopped being fun to listen to music that way. It made listening to these albums that I wanted to listen to and still want to listen to feel like a chore. I felt like I was going back in time to listen to these albums, not because I wanted to, not because, oh, I missed out on all these years of music because I only started doing reviews in 2017, so I want to go back to those years. But I felt like it was more like, God, I'm going back in time and I'm not doing it for any reason other than because, and this feels like a chore, and it just stopped being fun in that regard. And I obviously at the time of 2020 did not expect life priorities to totally change. You know, I've been a lot more over the top in regards to my physical and mental health because I've had some rough spells with those over the last few years. That obviously has impeded the progress of these videos because sometimes if I'm not feeling well, be it physically or mentally, I just don't have the energy to make these videos, but I'm on a set schedule, so I feel like I have to. And on top of that, I can't do YouTube full time. I'm not popular, I'm not viral, I can't like make any money off of it, it's not that easy. And on top of that, I have other priorities with regards to work. I just got a new game journalism job. I am a game journalist, and because of that, and because that scared the shit out of me. I'll probably keep it in the video though. I think it was just a bottle that fell in the bathroom. But I can't do YouTube content as full-time as I would like to because I have those work priorities as a game journalist, and also I'm not getting paid to do content creation full-time. I'm not popular enough. And I don't blame anyone for that. It's just, I guess my content isn't that popular, so I can't make money off of it. So in that regard, I just kind of realized that 10 years later wasn't going to serve me the same as it has. I really sat and kind of mulled over different options to change up the series. I was thinking maybe do the TikTok style with 10 years later so I could keep making them but do them in a shorter way. Do a monthly roundup where I just kind of talk about different albums from a month 10 years later, like August 2012 albums 10 years later, and just sum them up like that. Each ways that would basically help the series continue. But I realized the potential benefits to continuing the series in a different way didn't match up to the benefits of just ending the series altogether. Ending the series would mean I'd have more creative freedom to do whatever other kind of videos that I want. This channel is called Matt's Random Journeys, but it stopped really being random because it was just nothing but music reviews. And 10 years later, without this constant long-term full project that I have to do, I can do other different things. I can do discography dives. That's something I'm kind of interested in doing. Taking an artist's discography and just going through it. Kind of looking at all of their albums and seeing which ones are good and which ones are bad. I can go back to potentially making videos about movies. I could make some videos about video games if it doesn't, you know, totally get in the way of the things I do for my job. Remember the gaming discussion segment? I could bring that back. I could do that when it comes to talking about different live streams and events and things like that. Hell, I mean, it doesn't even have to necessarily be about art or media. You like baseball? I really like baseball. I could make videos about baseball if I wanted to. Screw it. I could just make a video talking about mental health. That's something. If copyright isn't a problem, I could go back to doing drum covers if I want to. It's just a way to do a lot more things instead of just having one series that I feel like I have to stick to for my entire life on YouTube. And I'd much rather have that creative freedom to do whatever kind of videos I want as opposed to constantly being weighed down by this 10-year-long series that's basically going to be all of my content. I think stagnation among YouTubers is a very real thing. When you get caught up doing the same thing over and over, you just get tired. I didn't realize that at the time, but yeah, I did get tired. And that's why I feel like the best idea for me is just to end the series where it's at, even if it only got to about 2.5 years. At least it's something. I still plan to listen to all of the albums that I have on my list to listen to from 2012 to 2019, whatever. But now I'm just gonna do it just to enjoy the music, not because I feel like I have to write a script on them. And who knows, I mean, honestly, given that I can just go in whatever direction I want, Maybe there's a chance I could just do one-off episodes of 10 Years Later for certain albums that I think are super impactful to me, or albums that I really, really enjoy, or really want to talk about, or really re-examine, as opposed to having to do it as an entire series. And, of course, it should be obvious, but this isn't a series that I own. I didn't trademark the term 10 Years Later, so if anyone else wants to make their own version of it, by all means, go ahead. I give you full permission. In fact, I still have all my documents with all the albums I had planned to look at. If you want a reference, I could just leave copies of those Google Docs somewhere. I could just put them in the comments or the description or something like that in case people want to just get a basic idea of what I was planning to look at, and you could even cover some of your own albums, other things that you think would be worth talking about that didn't pertain to my interests. So yeah, I know, I'm sorry that this is how this announcement had to come. I'm sorry it felt pretty sudden, but I think for me this is the best course of action for my channel, the best way to make content that I'm going to enjoy a lot more, and to have a lot more creative freedom than I had while I was working on 10 Years Later. To not feel like I have this albatross of a series that's weighing me down that I have to do. So I hope you guys understand. Also, I'll say you can let me know in the comments below if there are certain kinds of videos that you'd like to see me do, or different ideas. I'm obviously open to them. I'm at a point where I could just kind of do whatever with this channel. I could finally embrace that Random Journeys name, which I'm pretty excited about. So if there are certain kinds of videos that you guys would like me to do, or that you think might seem interesting, I'm all ears if you want to list them down in the comments below. So yeah, 10 Years Later might be over a little bit sooner than everyone thought, but I think that this is just the beginning of a better, brighter future for the channel, and I hope you guys continue to come along on the journey with me. If you don't want to, I totally understand. You don't have to worry about that. I'm not really a stickler for that stuff anyway. I appreciate those of you guys who join, and if you don't want to, that's totally valid. You're well within your right. I just enjoy making this content, and if you guys enjoy watching it, then I've done my job. So that's this update. Thank you guys for watching. I don't really know how to end this. I hope that was good enough and not super cheesy. I have plenty in the works. I will say there were 2 new albums that came out this weekend that I do plan to look at. I just have been busy with a couple things and figuring out a couple things with 10 Years Later, and also just, it's been a busy weekend. But I will have those reviews up as soon as I possibly can, as soon as I get the chance to sit down and listen to those 2 albums, and we will go from there. We've got a lot of stuff that we can do. I've got some ideas already rummaging around in my head, and I'm hoping to make them happen. So, as I always say, stay tuned for those, but until then, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I shouldn't really say I hope you enjoyed if you were a fan of 10 Years Later. I don't know if you would necessarily enjoy seeing it die. I hope you understand. That, I think, should be better, I hope. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.